Welcome to On the Way to School, your 6-minute daily boost for educators and administrators. I'm Christopher S. Dennis, and today, let's elevate our journey together. All right, good morning. Welcome to On the Way to School, and I hope the week is going well and you are rolling, living the dream, of course. I want to talk a little bit about kind of visualizations and this kind of concept of quantum leaping. If you're of a particular age, you remember the show Quantum Leap, where the main character could he would leap back and forth through different lives of people, and he would show up to just try to change different things. But I think I was talking to my sons and letting them know, the concept of quantum leaping really exists to discuss different planes of reality, different planes of already being. And so I use the analogy of saying, there are three versions of you that are living in reality right now. There's the version of you where you are. There's a version of you a couple levels below where you are much worse off than you are now, aspiring to be who you are now. But then there's also a version of you that's levels above, who is the person you're aspiring to be today. And I think it's important for us to realize that the reality that we want to create does exist. Okay, so if you are in a situation where you're having a tough time as a leader, you're having a tough time as an educator, maybe you've got this class that's really not gelling the way you want to, or you've had a couple lessons that are a dud and you're kind of down in the dumps. Maybe your grading has been off and your administrators are saying we need you to get it back together, or you're dealing with some seasons of really harsh critique and feedback and support. And I think there's a way for you to kind of think about your current reality and craft a vision to step into that extraordinary vision and purpose of who you are. Understand where you are now, but never forget where you want to be. Never forget about the person you want to become, and think about, what does it take for me to be that person today? Sometimes, especially for women, people of color, people from marginalized backgrounds, we tend to over-credentialize ourselves and feel like we need to get more training to be able to fill our purpose. We need to learn a little bit more. We've got to qualify ourselves a little bit deeper. And you can actually make that quantum leap to being who you need to be now. Now, I'm not saying that the bank account is going to follow. I'm not saying that the title is going to follow. But if you step into all of the resources, all of the things that you already know, and really craft that mental vision board of, what do I need to do tomorrow morning to start my day off if I were in the perfect scenario of who I want to be as a leader? How would I start my day? And start your day that way. What would I do with the resources I have to actually get going? You know what I mean? So for some, that could mean when you first wake up and you're sitting there for that first 10 or 15 minutes, it could be as simple as, let me just put my feet on the ground and stand up out of the bed so I can just start. And that could mean, I'm gonna shave, or I'm going to maybe step outside and just sip my coffee before I normally just hop in the car and go. Step into that vision you created for yourself and get going on a good day, right? The next thing is, how can you unlock that mental clarity to go from dreams to action? Maybe you've got the plan already. Maybe you already know that it's a good plan, but what are the action steps to unlock it, to get it into reality? Is it because you're asking for a raise, but you're dreading how the conversation is going to go? You have the information, the details, so maybe you just need to initiate the conversation. My daughter was, going through a doula training program, and she finished all of the work, the coursework, and the person hadn't reviewed it yet, and she was like, well, she's going through some things, and I don't really want to be a burden because it did take me a long time to do it. And my wife and I were just like, Miracle, you've got to just reach out, because that prompting is going to send the energy of the universe into such a state to where you're going to get some information. You're going to get an answer. And if you did the work, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear if you've done the work. And even if you get some critique and you have to do something again, let that be communicated. But you've got to unlock that clarity and leap from the dream to the action. And you know what? She reached out, shot the text message, and the person was like, "You're good to go. You're ready to move to the next step." Again, that's all about, like, how can you leap into the person that already exists in the state of your best and your wildest dream. And lastly, I'll say, you've got to overcome the self-doubt. You've got limitless potential. And if you push forward and allow yourself to get to that reality, you'll find out that, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And you can do this. You can push forward, stretch forward, reach for it, and you're gonna be A-okay. It's gonna be all good. So I'm hoping that's helpful for folks here in January, because there's a lot of energy into the start of the new year and that dynamic of new beginnings and things of that nature. But you need to be able to do some tangible things to move forward and get going. And I truly believe that if you challenge that doubt and just put one shot at the rim, shoot one shot, and let's see where it goes. And you'll find that you can keep shooting. Another story, my son DJs in a creative writing class, and he talks about his dreams of how he wants to do these big, amazing things. But he also kind of overthinks it and kind of freezes a little bit on what he should do next. But one day we were talking about something he wrote for creative writing, and what's beautiful about this class is that, there's like 16 kids in the class, but each writer gets to present a piece of work. And the other 15 students give you back your paper with edits on it and critique and feedback. And on one particular story he was writing, he's got 15 pages of positive reinforcement and feedback. And I told him, I said, when you reach out to really write that screenplay or that song, you've already got at least 15 pieces of positive feedback. So even if you do try to create something and you get one series of negative feedback, you've already front-loaded your journey with all of this evidence of positive feedback. You already have the evidence of things going well. So where do you have evidence in your life of things already being in your favor? Stand on that and know that that is your fuel, your ammunition to make these quantum leaps. So again, visualize it, take a quantum leap toward the version of you that you need to be, and you'll see the results. So have a great day. Catch you next time on The Way to School. Take care. Thanks for joining me on The Way to School. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep making a difference. I'm Christopher.